Hello and good morning, dear students. Now we are going to study next point of our chapter number 2, which of course heat and thermodynamics. Uh, in that chapter, next point is temperature entropy diagram. So this diagram is also known as TS diagram. In thermodynamics, we know there are very there are thermodynamic variables. What are those thermodynamic variables? Pressure, volume, temperature, entropy, internal energy, etc. Enthalpy, Gibbs free energy, all those are thermodynamic variables. Now if we plot diagram of pressure and volume, if you take any two independent variable in thermodynamics and plot those thermodynamic variables, then we know that that is definition of indicator diagram. Okay, so we studied already diagram of pressure and volume, so that diagram is known as PV diagram. Likewise, if we plot diagram of temperature and entropy of a system, so that diagram is known as TS diagram. Now, what is the significance of TS diagram? We know that dq, change in entropy ds, can be written as dq upon t, where ds is change in entropy, dq is amount of heat energy absorbed by or rejected by the system, and T is the temperature. So from this equation we can write dq is equal to T into ds. So if you plot temperature and entropy diagram on a graph, and if you take area under curve, so that is nothing but dq. dq is what? Amount of heat energy absorbed or rejected by the system. Now for the general case, if you take TS diagram, okay, of any system, on y-axis we have temperature and on x-axis we have entropy. So suppose we take curve AB on this TS diagram. Okay, so here system goes thermodynamic change along AB, entropy changes from S1 to S2, and temperature decreases from T1 to T2. So this curve represents that. Now we know that dq is nothing but TdS. Now for at constant temperature, if you take infinitesimal change in entropy, suppose we show that over here by this strip. Okay, so if ds is infinitesimal change in entropy for very small change in temperature, so this is dq. So this area under curve of TS diagram is nothing but amount of heat energy absorbed by the system. Okay, now if you take for entire curve, then q is integration of dq, okay, for entire curve from a to b, and this is nothing but integration of tds, and this is nothing but area under curve of whole curve. So if we take area under curve, okay, of this whole curve, so this is the total amount of heat energy absorbed by that thermodynamic system during change AB. Okay, so this is the very important part of temperature entropy diagram. Okay, what is the physical significance of temperature entropy diagram? Physical significance is that it shows amount of heat energy absorbed or rejected by this that thermodynamic system. Now for Carnot heat engine, now TS diagram for Carnot cycle, I already told you Carnot cycle we are going to study in next chapter. So if you plot TS diagram of Carnot cycle, so PV diagram for Carnot cycle I already shown you like this. Okay, So this is C1, C2, C3, C4. Along C1, C2, we know that temperature is T1 and amount of heat energy absorbed Q1. So C1, C2 is isothermal expansion. C2, C3 is adiabatic expansion. C3, C4 is isothermal compression at temperature T2, which is less than T1, and amount of heat energy rejected Q2. And C4, C1 is adiabatic compression. So isothermal expansion, isothermal compression, adiabatic compression. These four processes are completed and that system comes under at C1. Okay, so all cyclic process will complete up to C1. Now, if you plot that on temperature entropy diagram, so along C1, C2 temperature is constant, and since amount of heat energy is absorbed Q1, entropy increases. So that is shown by this curve. Okay, so C1, C2 represents isothermal expansion. Now along this, temperature is T1, okay, that I have shown over here. Temperature T1 remains constant and amount of heat energy absorbed is Q1. Now along C2, C3 process is adiabatic expansion, and from definition of adiabatic process we know that there is no heat energy absorbed or rejected. So that's why dq is 0. So at that time we know that entropy remains constant but temperature decreases from T1 to T2. So here temperature is T2. So C2, C3 is like this. Now along C3, C4, heat energy Q2 is rejected at temperature T2. So temperature T2 remains constant. So we can show that like this. Okay, and entropy is reduces. Here V entropy is S2, here entropy is S1. Amount of heat energy rejected Q2 at temperature T2. So this is the temperature T2. And along C4, C1, which is adiabatic process, temperature decreases from T2 to T1. But since adiabatic process, there is no exchange of heat. So that's why entropy remains constant. So this is the case. Now C1, C2 isothermal expansion, C2, C3 adiabatic expansion, C3, C4 isothermal compression, C4, C1 adiabatic compression. So in this way, this cyclic process is completed for Carnot cycle. And this is the entropy TS diagram for Carnot cycle. Now, along C1, C2, which is isothermal expansion, okay, amount of heat energy absorbed Q1 is equal to, now we know dq is can be written as product of T and ds. Now here we know that C1 along C1 C2 curve we have to take area under curve. So this area under curve is, this length is S2 minus S1, okay, multiply by this height is T1. So this is the equation. Okay. Now along C2, C3, which is adiabatic expansion. So there is no heat exchanged. So Q2 is 0. We have to take another symbol Q2 dash because Q2 I have taken for this case. Now along C3, C4 means from here to here, which is isothermal compression. And amount of heat energy Q2 which is rejected is, now along C3, C4 we have to take area under curve which is this area. Okay. Now again this length is S2 minus S1 multiply by this one is T2. Okay. So this is the case. And along C4, C1, since this is adiabatic compression, therefore no amount of heat energy is absorbed or rejected. Again similarly that will become 0. So along C4, C1, which is expansion and compression. Okay, so Q4 dash is 0. Here we can take symbol Q3 also. Now from equation 1 and 2 we can write Q1 divided by Q2 is equal to, if you take ratio of these two, so that will become S2 minus S1 into T1. So S2 minus S1 into T1 divided by S2 minus S1 into T2. So this will cancel and we get Q1, and if you take that T1 on left hand side, T1, if you take this Q2 on right hand side, Q2 upon T2. So this is the equation for Carnot heat engine. So I already told you about this equation. We can derive that equation. Okay, and efficiency of Carnot heat engine is 1 minus Q2 divided by Q1. So that is equal to 1 minus, if you can write Q2 divided by Q1, you can write T2 divided by T1. Okay, so this is the equation for efficiency. So in this way, TS diagram is very useful for calculating amount of heat energy absorbed or rejected during the any thermodynamic process. Now we are going to study next point, which is TDS equation. So we have two TDS equations. I need this. TDS equation. So first TDS equation. So TDS means product of temperature and entropy, change in entropy. So we know that change in entropy ds is dq upon t. If you take this t on left hand side, so that is TDS. So dq is amount of heat energy absorbed or rejected during thermodynamic process. So TDS equation is are nothing but under which condition heat energy is absorbed or rejected in terms of entropy. So that is the TDS equation. For that, for first TDS equation, if you take entropy is function of temperature and volume, okay, suppose entropy is the function of temperature and volume. So if you take, call this as equation 1, taking exact differentiation. So differentiation of S, which is ds for entropy. Now here differentiation of this, so this is there are two variables, so we are going to take partial derivatives. Okay, so that is partial derivative of entropy with respect to temperature, okay, at constant volume into dt, plus partial derivative of entropy with respect to volume, okay, at constant temperature into dv. So this is from definition of exact differential. Now multiply by t, okay, to above equation, we get, if you multiply t, we get TDS is equal to t into partial derivative of s with respect to temperature at constant volume into dt, plus partial derivative of s with respect to v, t multiply by at constant temperature into dv. Now call this as equation number 2. Now from definition of dq, okay, so from definition of cv, which is specific heat at constant volume, cv is t into partial derivative of s with respect to t, okay, at constant volume. So this is specific heat at constant volume, okay. Specific heat of at constant volume means amount of heat energy absorbed by the unit mole of that substance at constant volume, okay. So since this is T and this is ds, we have this dq and again divided by T at constant volume. Now if you put this in above equation and okay, and for this factor, okay, this factor from Maxwell's equation, I already written Maxwell equation over here. See, partial derivative of S with respect to V, we have this term at constant temperature. So partial derivative of entropy with respect to V, okay, at constant temperature can be written as partial derivative of P with respect to T, okay, at constant volume. So put in equation 2. So if you put that in equation 2, we will get T ds is equal to, instead of this term, we can write Cv. So that is Cv dt plus, instead of this T into, from Maxwell's equation, we can write partial derivative of pressure with respect to temperature at constant volume into dV. So this is our first latent heat equation. So first latent heat equation gives amount of heat energy absorbed during isothermal process. Okay. Now we are going to study second TDS equation. So from first TDS equation, we can easily derive second TDS equation. For that, again, here we have to take entropy as the function of temperature and pressure. So we replaced volume by pressure. So if you replace volume by pressure, then taking exact differential, ds is equal to, now partial derivative of S with respect to T, instead of volume we have pressure, so here we will have this pressure P, dt plus partial derivative of entropy with respect to second variable is now pressure at constant temperature, and here we have dP. Okay, now again multiply T above equation, we will have TDS is equal to T, okay, into delta S by delta T at constant pressure plus T into delta S by delta, here we will have pressure, okay, at constant temperature, and here we will have dP. Now from definition of specific heat at constant pressure, which is Cp. So Cp is partial derivative of S with respect to temperature at constant pressure. So this is specific heat at constant pressure. Okay, and again from Maxwell's equation, which is I have written over here. So partial derivative of S with respect to pressure at constant temperature is minus partial derivative of volume with respect to temperature at constant pressure. So we have to put that in equation 2. Okay, so that equation becomes TDS, instead of this we can write Cp dt plus T into, here we will have this minus sign, okay, partial derivative of volume with respect to temperature at constant pressure into dP. Okay, and this is second TDS equation. So both these TDS equations are very important for finding out amount of heat energy absorbed or rejected. Okay, so next point we will see in our next lecture. Thank you.